Good morning, fellow light workers. Hope y'all are doing well. Guys, I want to do a quick one, and it's going to extend on something we've already talked about. On a previous lesson, talked about some of the attacks from the dark occultists, right? How they discredit, how they try to get you out of character in front of others, right? In order to discredit you. Well, another one I want to bring up, I want to call this one Imitate and Replace. This play in their book of evil is one that they employ when there's somebody speaking the truth or disrupting the order of things, and they want to take them out. But they can't just take them out because their opponent has gained influence and favor of the people around them. There's a phrase, and I'm going to use it. If you can't beat them, be them. If you can't beat them, be them. Okay? And what they will do is they will start imitating their target. They'll dress like them, talk like them, cut their hair in the same way, wear their facial hair in the same way. Anything to look like them. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, right? Not with these people. They'll start talking about the same things their target talks about. Another way to say it is they're trying to get ahead of the story. So how do you know when you're looking and seeing and talking to an imitator? Well, one big way to know is if they're trying to put you back on a right-left paradigm at the end of the day. They'll present some facts, a little bit of facts to you, and then go right back to pushing some kind of either alt-right or alt-left or right or left movement. Probably talking to some fake nonsense. If you're seeing something like that, there's a lot of folks out there that want to do that, especially since this truth movement came out and, people started talking about things that are really going on that they want to hide. I'm not going to call anybody out specifically because there's a lot of them. I've even come in contact with some thinking that they were, just trying to speak the truth. But then you watch them a little further. All you got to do is really just observe. If you're observant enough and pick up on the patterns, eventually they give themselves away, right? Goes back to you'll know them by their fruits. And I think we all know by now that truth isn't necessarily black or white. There is a gray area to a lot of truth. And if you're talking to somebody and that's all they're pushing is pretty much just some, gross leaning one way or the other way, and you're probably talking to somebody who's either blind themselves. We have to understand, and I'll even admit, I tend to just think everyone's in on it, and there's a lot of folks that just are the blind leading the blind, and they just don't know any better. They're fooled themselves. But that's why we have to know better and be an example. Okay? Because there are a lot of people out there just peddling mistruth. And they either are aware that they're doing it and they're just trying to get ahead of the story to imitate and replace the people who are really trying to blow the whistle, blow the lid up off of some deception and some lies that have been going on. Because it's been going on a long time in this nation. I mean, around the world, but definitely here in America. One big thing we can do, guys, to really fight this is ask questions. Ask questions. Instead of getting worked up about what they point the finger at, oh, well, it's those people. Oh, well, they only serve that much time. That's what they want you to do. They want you to go after that. Ask some more questions. More like, how many government employees are members of the Masonic organization? Ooh, that's a good question. How many government employees are members of the Masonic organization? Is the Masonic membership registry public? These are good questions. Why do so many Freemasons get in trouble for distributing inappropriate images of children? Why does it happen so often? Why are so many people working for our government getting in trouble with inappropriate relations with children? And who are they hanging out with? Where are the images coming from? Who do they send them to? We need to ask more questions. Don't jump at where the finger points, and ask more questions. That is how we get to it. They really can't do much when you do that. You want to watch them get worked up? Start asking some good questions instead of getting worked up at what they're trying to manipulate you to. Because they're using psychological warfare tactics, and they've been doing it a long time. They have a systematic approach to it, very much a method, but it's beatable. And when you know how to beat it, it is actually a lot simpler than what you would think. I think we want it to be harder than what it really is. We just need to ask the right questions. All right, guys. Y'all have a good morning. Bye-bye.